Located here on the north side of the LDS Conference Center is the site of the Joseph L. Haywood home. Joseph was a bishop of the Salt Lake 17th Ward. President Gordon B. Hinckley's father tells a story of the time that John Morgan was staying with the Haywood family. He was not a member of the church at the time. He had come down one morning for breakfast and related to Sister Haywood an interesting dream that he had had the night before. He said that he dreamed that he was back in the southern states where he had served during the Civil War. And he was on a road that led from Chattanooga, Tennessee, south down to Rome, Georgia. And he came to a certain part in the road where there was a fork with a tree in the middle. And standing in front of the tree was President Brigham Young. And Brigham Young told him, he said, "Now, John, if you take the right side, or the right fork, it'll take you to Rome, Georgia. But if you'll take the left fork, you'll have an interesting experience that'll strengthen your testimony in the Book of Mormon." John asked Sister Haywood what she thought the dream meant, being he had no interest in Mormonism at all at the time. And she said, "This is what I think. Then in the future, there's going to come a time when you're going to find yourself on a road where you'll come to a fork. And Brigham Young won't be there, but the tree will be there, and you'll either be able to go to the right, that'll take you to Rome, Georgia, or go to the left that will lead you to an experience that will strengthen your testimony in the Book of Mormon." And John again said, "No, I have no interest in this." But within a year, he found himself, he'd been baptized, and within 10 years, he was on a mission to the southern states. While he was there, he, by that time, had forgotten about the dream, but he found himself living the dream. He was on a road leading south from Chattanooga, Tennessee, down to Rome, Georgia. And he came to a fork in the road, a tree in the middle of the fork. Brigham Young wasn't there. And he remembered his dream, and he remembered what had been said, that if he went to the right, he'd go to Rome, but if he went to the left, he'd have an experience that would strengthen his testimony in the Book of Mormon. So with uplifted spirits, he took the left fork and came along a ridge that led down to a valley that he found was known as Haywood Valley, spelled the very same way that Joseph Haywood spelled his name, H-E-Y instead of H-A-Y. And he entered eagerly into one of those first homes, anticipating the experience that awaited him. He found that family so interested, he spent 3 hours discussing with them the restoration of the gospel. After the 3 hours was over, the father went to the family Bible and brought it in front of Elder Morgan and showed him passages of Scripture in their Bible that had been underscored by a stranger that had passed through that area some 10 days before, and had promised them that another man would come later and explain those passages of Scripture that would open up the plan of salvation that the Lord had for them. And now here was John doing that very thing. They were soon baptized as members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He visited other families in Haywood Valley and found that they too had been visited by the same stranger who had come through, who had also underscored passages in their family Bibles with the same instructions, that another man would come through who would explain those passages and unfold God's plan for them. They too were baptized. In fact, all but 3 families in Haywood Valley were baptized. One of those baptized was the Methodist preacher. He soon became the branch president or presiding elder of the branch as it was organized there. And the building that had been used by the Methodists was given to the church. John Morgan's dream indeed did come true.
For more information on hallowed ground sacred journeys, please visit virtualtours.byu.edu.